Hello, and thank you for tuning in, Aerial Aces RC. Hope all you wonderful ladies and gents are having a fantastic day. I hope the weather is even half as beautiful as mine is here. Now, today I would like to go over a couple things I've been promising consecutively and not delivered on with all you little motorettes that watch my videos here and there. So what we got is the 2023, produced 2022, I believe. Fly e-bikes is the trade manufacturer name. RZ 72 volt, 55 amp hour lithium, 3000 watt. I have the Voltol, I want to say the Voltol EM70, which is, I believe, a 70 amp, 80 amp burst controller, 2 USB charging slots. One goes off of the power, like the 12 volt reducer, I believe, and then one is actually from the controller, but does not work as a data connection. I could be wrong on that. The data connectivity here is a whole nother thing I need to do a video on, because I am trying to modify mine and mess with them settings, and even find out if the parameters that the EM70 is even capable of my requirements, hopefully. But anyways, so we got a nice hub motor back here. Oh, who is this made by? Hold on a second. YM Motors, YM King. I know I'm going to get some hate, but I did obviously put the Honda HRC stickers on there, but I had to do it. I'm a diehard Honda fan. They've served me so good, I'm going to fake one out for them. I have people ask me about this thing all the time and tell me if I didn't tell them it wasn't a Honda, they would never know, especially at the rate the bikes are coming out nowadays. People can't keep track, and I don't blame them. I can't either, and I'm into it. All right, so we got a level 1, I want to say 6 amp charger, pretty basic, takes a good amount of time to charge. Charges my 72 volt lithium ion battery to 84 volts, and that 84 volts, when I'm really hammering on it, so far has lasted me about, I want to say 50, 60 miles at least. It's probably more than that, believe it or not. So you got to give them credit. One thing I do got to say is Fly has been terrible on their warranty. Sorry, Fly, but I got to say it. I'd love it if you guys would help me out. I'd really like to say something good about you. But I did get it through one of their distributors. And as you can see, my body panels, I know this sounds real picky, but it is brand new and it's a lot of money. At least for me it is. And the bike is great, but I gotta say, this body line over here, it's because there must have been something pressing up on it in storage or shipping, I'm assuming. And so it kind of broke out the tab on the back of this right-hand side fairing, and now it just doesn't seat correctly. I do have a pin slot like setup kind of in there. Also, you can see I'm missing a screw here because that screw and clamp was bad, and I'm missing some screws completely because I believe it came off the assembly line ready for sealed lead acid packs, and it was swapped to LiPo later on, which, hey, thank you, appreciate it. Wanted the LiPos, so I got what I was asking for, but the LiPo is going to be another video. It's not what they really say it is. It's a good deal for the money, I would say, personally. We'll see what the cycles are like. Either way, let's go over some of the features. So, I've been trying to figure out, at the risk of looking like a clown on camera, I've been trying to figure out the key fob. It's either 2 presses. You have to excuse my nasty mechanic hands. Somebody's got to keep everything running. And I guess some days it's me. So, yeah, some of my equipment's busted. I already know it, guys. Don't eat me up. Either way, let's try doing it twice. Okay, so that didn't do it. We're going to unlock. We're going to hold the button. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, okay, I just tapped it 2 or 3 times there. Isn't that crazy that I don't know how many times it was? Because I counted, and I swear it wasn't the same thing 2 times in a row. But either way, you tap that button 2 or 3 times. I did try holding it down. I did try tapping at this bottom electric bolt. I'm going to go over that again in a little bit, but I don't want to keep setting the alarm off. So regardless now, without the key in the ignition, you can see you do actually have the full ability to take the bike and put it into gear, and it will go. It'll drive as normal as far as my understanding goes. And it's nice, actually. So if you want to show things off, you got lights hooked into your actual harness and not off like a secondary reserve battery or power or something like that. It is kind of decent because you can let a buddy take it for a spin. All my buddies I would trust with the key. So I don't really have a need for that. I wouldn't be putting my kids on there for sure or anything crazy like that. But now you can see we got the lights lit up. It is full LEDs. I do really like that. We got some non-functional vents. I have seen some guys out of New York, I believe, that have been doing some hella nice mods. We're talking LEDs, liquid cooling, aluminum, I believe, radiator, type setup, and then they got the fans on there. Been trying to get at these guys. I don't know. Ain't nobody hit me back up yet. I could really use some information. Shit's new to everybody. Excuse me there. The lights up in the top corner there, kind of, hokey. I've seen this bike go under a couple other brands too, and seeming as no one in particular brand, including the one that claimed this bad boy, wants to help me out. Here we go. So Brop, out of Australia, I believe it is, they got the best reputation besides Emo, I believe. We'll touch more on that, but this goes under the Brop Motorsports Moto E. There is a slightly different front fairing, and I believe they use a different controller than the Voltols. I'm not positive on that. Another thing to keep in mind is the Metacycle also seems to be using the Voltol type setup, if I'm not mistaken. But anyways, as far as this model goes in particular, I have found so far that the Fly RZ, the Emo, they call it the Emo Zone, I think. Emo, and then there's the GTS, there's the Teo Leo Emo GTS or something like that. The Fly RZ, the Brop Motorsports Moto E. Oh my gosh. I know I'm leaving some out. There's another one that starts with an A here. Let's think. Admin Predator or something like that. So, I mean, there's 5 or 6 right there that are all basically the same exact bike. If anybody would maybe like to help me out with my warranty that I feel as if maybe I have a kind of a right to, at least, I'd really appreciate that. Anybody that would like to claim manufacturing this bike. I mean, I know who the mother company is, out of China. They basically, there's like 3 or 5 companies that make everything, gas, electric. I think Wuxi, there's like Doxy, there's a couple of them. I don't know, I'm probably butchering a lot of this. I apologize, excuse me. I'm just trying to help get some information out, learn something myself. I cannot figure out for the life of me how to hook up to that Voltol EM70. I've looked up a schematic on the internet, and I got a pinout on that EM70, and the pinout does not match what's on my harness. And for obvious reasons, and especially for what this thing costs new, I don't really want to just go chop it into it and fry this thing, my controller, my laptop, any of that stuff. I also have Windows 11, and I was told that you can only download the drivers on like Windows 10 or something like that. This is all new territory. I know there's some stuff out there, but in English, in plain black and white, step by step, hey, I'm here to help you type stuff, I ain't found nothing like that yet. I get it. It's a gray area, but here's the hoping, right? So anyways, if you want to shut the bike back off, we've had it on now for a minute. You got full use of everything. You can see turn signals are going now. All right. And then let me make sure everything's off here. Lights are off. And then I believe now if we hit, is it the unlock button twice? There we go. You hit the unlock button twice, and now the bike shut back off. So it's back to being closed off. You need the key. Not sure if the alarm's active or not, but it's been a great bike so far. I need to do a little bit more math to get the mileage worked out. But yeah, this is it. My cruise control doesn't seem to work. This green button that's hooked up over here that says REV, which I'm assuming would definitely stand for reverse. If you hit that, it actually cuts off my throttle, which is a 3-pin setup throttle. And I have my gear selector over here. And basically what started my need for programming is, first of all, this just makes it so it goes into like a walk mode up to 20 miles an hour, and it's just on or off at the push of that button, which there's absolutely no practical use for whatsoever. I've racked my mind, and it's no. The other thing is, I have seen on certain setups, there's the starter button, which is still retained on the controls there. Obviously, it doesn't go to an electric starter. So that's fine. I understand reusing specific parts for manufacturing, but in other cases, it's been hooked up as a cruise control button. And in my case, it's hooked up to apparently absolutely nothing. So that's a little upsetting and disappointing. The left side, everything works as it should. And again, I'll pop my key back in here and you can see on the dash. So here's what led to me wanting to program besides this reverse button here. But as I kick my bike on, right, you can see that while I'm in park, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. While I'm in park, it's in 2, okay? Park, 2, okay? Now, I just put it in drive. See, there it is. Park, drive. Park, drive. Nothing. So my park is engaged into my second speed or gear. Okay, I don't really care about that. It goes up to about 35. That's fine. Well, now I'm going to shift into sport. Well, now my gear selector is finally going to move. Look at that. So park and drive are second gear. And then my sport mode is third. Now, I don't know if there's just a 4th gear indicator and they don't use it in the programming setup. That, from what I've read, that seems about right. But I don't utilize any of my 1st or 4th. So something's going on here, how it's programmed. It's programmed very well, I will say that. But in the US where I live and how I have my bike registered, I am legally allowed to take this thing significantly faster. So I would like the ability to be able to do that. So as far as the manufacturer not being able to tell me anything about the programming, even the manufacturer of the Voltel controllers, I understand that to a degree, but it wouldn't exceed the legalities of registering the bike on my end. Anyway, I've registered it as a motorcycle. You have to have a motorcycle license to operate it. It isn't a class 2. It isn't. There was a huge mix-up at the DMV. It still says it's a 600cc petrol bike on my title, but after everything I went through, I just appreciate the girls at the DMV finally getting that title through. I had huge issues. I had to get a hold of my state capital. I had to provide information that the distributor and manufacturer of this bike did not provide or even want to help me with remotely. So I know this probably sounds like a huge rant. I guess maybe it is. Either way, this is the first time I've posted something like this, and I really hope some of this information or something helps somebody. I'm going to go over some more stuff on the fly, but this is like the 3rd serious ride, maybe 4th or 5th serious ride I've taken this on max. As you guys can see from my miles, it's not even at 200 miles yet. So I think I charged it once, maybe once and a half. So I got a lot of learning to do, but I do have some other EVs. I'm a professional by no means, but I knew what to expect. And I am a little sick of, being locked out of super noob mode. I understand noob mode, but super noob mode, come on, guys, come on. And you can't even help me with that fairing. Boy, kind of wish I'd have known that before I got it. It's a great bike. If the manufacturer would back it up a little bit, I would really, really appreciate that. They act like I stole it or something. I don't really know, because I did a trade-in, you know what I mean, a trade-in deal, and had some credit with the distributor. And so when I got my receipt, things were set up a little bit different. Obviously, I had enough to make my state happy to register the darn thing for on the road. But apparently I didn't have enough to make Fly e-bikes happy to say that it was a bike that legitimately come from them. Not really sure, guys, but you need to be careful about that. So either way, questions, comments, anything, try not to beat me up too bad. All right, I appreciate anybody who watching. If you hung in there the entire time, I'll have something better for you next time, I promise. Thank you. Have a good day.